Listen, I got a couple of minutes and I'm out here. I'm in the car, but I want to talk about some things. Now, here we are. This is the beginning of the year. This is the beginning of 2025. I said this before. I said in the beginning, and I'll keep saying it. 2025 is the year of ooh wee. It's the year of ooh wee, and I meant it in the best way, but that message is getting mixed up somewhere, and people ain't getting it like they're supposed to get it. Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm going to say that again for the stupid ones in the back. Vice President Kamala Harris. Vice President Kamala Harris. And living legend Patti LaBelle. Okay? Living legend Patti LaBelle. Do they do everything right? No, but who does? Who does do everything right? Who does everything right? Who does things to where everybody loves you and everybody's on board with you? But do you deserve to be just openly and outwardly disrespected? Now, this is what we are only in the 7th day of 2025. So I'm going to start with Kamala first. Y'all already know how I feel about Kamala. I've said what I said. I don't have what you would call a political channel. I don't really do the whole the politics thing, but it is what it is. When I need to say what I need to say, I come out and I say what I need to say, and y'all knew who I was voting for. Okay, it wasn't no secret about what it was. I had it on my chest, baby. Okay, so it is what it is. She ran for president and she lost. That's it. That's all. She ran for president and she lost. Kept right on moving. She's still working. Everything's going to be what it is until everything is turned over later on this month. She just kept on working with grace. Just kept right on working. Now she's up here swearing in Republican Senator Deb Fisher, another woman. She's doing her job. The fact that you could lose a battle in front of the whole world, basically, and still show up for work without a hair out of place says a whole lot about your character. Because some people that just ran and hid and just didn't show back up. Especially with the way things were. I mean, everybody was, oh, she's going to win. You're going to be the first female president and blah, 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 blah. It was all of this. And I know she was let down. You know, I know she felt some kind of, we all felt some kind of way. But she showed right back up for work. Consummate professional. Strong black woman. Y'all call her anything y'all want to call her. She's a strong black woman. And like I said, Madam Vice President, you had my vote. Okay? That was that. She's swearing in Deb Fisher. And then she receives some of the worst disrespect, some of the worst treatment in a professional, important setting that I've ever seen. Deb Fisher's husband just flat out refused to shake her hand and basically was very smug and shrugged her off like she was the president of the Girl Scouts. Or the hell, she wasn't even the president. He shrugged her off like she was the goddamn treasurer of the cookie drive in a little rural area with 15 houses. He acted like she wasn't And he felt emboldened. He felt that it was his right to be rude. He felt that that freedom allowed him to be a jackass in front of the whole world. And you can't tell me he didn't think he turned it. He thought he did his big one. He thought he turned it. He wanted a moment. She didn't even give it to him. She didn't even give it to him because from the beginning, y'all been trying to rear up the angry black woman. She ain't that. She ain't that. That's what that was about. Trying to get her out of her, off her mark. I'm sure her feelings were hurt because she got feelings just like everybody else. She got feelings. And I know she was like, I know this motherfucker. But she ain't show it. She just said, oh, okay. That was the worker. See, that was the big one. Oh, okay. Okay. You know what that said? Bruh, I see your ace and I got two. Bam, bam. That's totally unbothered. She gave you totally unbothered. Oh, okay. And moved on. And the message that she gave back to him, shit, I knew you was ignorant. Shit, I knew you was half raised. Hell, I knew you wasn't about shit. Okay? So, no, you didn't really win that in that little situation. You made yourself look foolish. And you looked foolish in front of the whole world. You looked foolish in front of the whole world, up there trying to disrespect a woman, a black woman, who wasn't doing nothing to you. She just at work doing her job. She at work doing her job. You ain't gotta like her. But when you at work, see, and your wife was at work, sir, just so that we're clear, your wife, that heifer was at work. Would you go into, if you work for the phone company, would you come to your spouse's Christmas party and act like that to the second level management at the Christmas party at your wife or your husband's job downtown? So why would you stand in front of America and disrespect the vice president of the United? Why would you feel as though you could disrespect the vice president of the United States, period? Exactly. And no, trust me, I think I'm a good piece of something going on. I think I'm something. Martin Luther King told me that I was something. And before I heard him say it, I already knew it because I was told that at home. But at no point do I feel as though I'm so much that I can stand up and disrespect the president or the vice president of the United States. Because you know you don't have to live here. Ain't nobody got to let you be here. Nobody has to let you be here. Are you crazy? You don't have to be here. Just like coming to somebody's house for dinner and kick you the fuck out. You don't have to be here. Now, I'm just wondering, what about where you work at, sir? Did you think about that? Where you work at? When you pull that little stunt? Or don't you work? Do you live off your wife? Because I would be kind of worried about if I pulled that little stunt that I go back to my job. Because I could imagine you probably got a pretty decent job, or you might not be working anymore. Or you might have had a job and ain't working no more. See, that's the part that I'd be worried about. Because if you work for me, brother, you wouldn't be working for me. You know that little piece of paper that you signed? That you ain't going to go out into the public with working as one of my employees and act a damn fool? Well, sir, you just acted a damn fool. And if it was my company, you would no longer be representing my company. So I would be really interested to see how all the inner workers of that kind of work, or maybe they just don't want to go there because now his wife actually is a senator. But she should be embarrassed because she looked a fool, and you should be embarrassed because you are a fool. But you didn't do her any favors. That is going to be logged into the history of the United States, that the senator got a jackass as a husband who went to a work event and showed his whole pale, wrinkled up ass. Let me move on. I'm going to move on because I probably done said too much. But remember, Martin Luther King said that I was somebody. Moving on. Disrespect. Total disrespect. Now, here's the other thing. Now, New Year's Day, CNN released this documentary, beautiful documentary. It's really wonderful. If you have not seen it, it's on Luther Vandross. It's Luther, Never Too Much. It is a documentary on his life. It's done very well. It's done very well. It's really, really good. And I have another video that's out here that I did. I put a lot of time and effort into that video. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, please, by all means, go over and see that video where I actually go through and I do my review of the movie. And if you've ever sat through a review with me, I'm SpillitBoyTV. For those of you who don't know who I am, and you just have dropped in, by all means, welcome. Thank you for coming by. I am SpillitBoyTV. You see how I get down. I just say whatever's on my mind for the most part. But I put a lot of effort into it. I enjoyed myself doing that review. I did it live. I don't always do my reviews and things live. I did it live, and we veered off into like some music history and a lot of different things. Really good video. If you haven't seen it, by all means, please go over and catch it and enjoy it, because I enjoy bringing it forth. But the documentary, if you have not seen it, you are doing yourself a disservice. You definitely need to see it, because I lived through all of it for the most part, and I thought I knew everything there was to know about Luther Vandross, but I didn't. There was some really good stuff in there. But the one thing that I'm going to focus on here, I talked about it a little bit, just a little bit, in my review. Patti LaBelle. Yes, Auntie Patti was painted out to be this villain. Because if you remember, now, and I'm a huge Patti LaBelle fan as well, so huge Patti LaBelle fan. None of that stuff was actually in the movie. It was weird that they didn't talk about the relationship between Patti LaBelle and Luther Vandross. There was a large piece, because they actually had a friendship. He was the, he goes back to Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells. Like, he followed her all through that, through the Bluebells, through LaBelle, into Patti LaBelle, the solo star. He was like a huge fan, and he headed up her fan club for years and years and years. Okay? And none of that is actually in the movie. None of that's in the movie. And literally, the part that you see her in the movie is this whole little dramatic piece, and then you see her at the funeral. And the only reason why you see her at the funeral is because the scene that they needed, she was right there in the midst of it, because she is that close to him, the family, and some of the family friends. But they would have cut her out of that if they could have. But she's standing there with Dion and all the other people, Sissy and all the other folks that they needed for the scene. Okay, so here's the thing. It all had to do with whether or not I can't answer that question. Was that Luther's boyfriend in the car? Can't answer the question, because Luther never told us, this is my boyfriend, this is not. Luther always told us it wasn't none of our business. So in his absence, I ain't doing that. I know what I think. I saw what he went through after the car accident happened. One, driving a car and one of your friends perish in an accident is rough, but he really went into a depression and things. So I know what I think. I know what I think. So I'll say that. I'll say that. I don't want to be disrespectful. You know I can be disrespectful, but I don't want to be disrespectful. He's a legend. I don't want to be disrespectful. I have no reason to disrespect Luther. Love Luther. So, and those were his wishes. He really didn't like us talking about it. He didn't. He didn't like us talking about it. Thank you, DGF. Thank you. So, there's a spot in there where Patti LaBelle, and I remember I seen this in real time. Patti did an interview with Bravo, and that's what I call him, Bravo Andy Cohen over at Bravo. And in the interview, he gave her one of them questions that you can't really, finagle your way out of, and it was basically talking about Luther's sexuality. Well, Patti just came on out and answered it. And then keep in mind, Patti is a woman of a particular age, too. Once you hit a particular age, what's up, Shaker? You hit a particular age, you don't give a damn. You be talking. And she literally was comfortable. She likes Andy. She's done work with Andy in the past. And Patti was just talking. Do I feel like she was being malicious? No. Do I feel like she was talking too much? Absolutely. When it happened, I did a couple of times, I'm like, oh, Patti, you done messed up. She basically confirmed it. She confirmed it. And it was right. It was like, oh, shit. But it was what it was. And we moved on past it. So I didn't have that much to say when I did my review about it. But then after I had did my review, then social media started doing what social media do. And I'm out here with my brothers and sisters in social media. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So then you start to get more info. So here you come back. Now, I ain't got to take back nothing I said because I said what it meant at the time. But then I start seeing the other pieces, and then Patti's folks done start speaking out and different things. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. Now, see, we didn't know about that. We didn't know about that. Did Patti talk too much? Yup. Was she being malicious? No. No. And here's the thing. What's his name? I can't even think of the guy's name. Oh, shoot. I can't think of it. John Sally? I think it's John Sally. He did an interview. I think it was with Vlad. And he was talking, and he was just talking about, yeah, my friend Luther, this, that, and the other. And he big up, talking about Luther. And he slipped. Yeah, John Sally. He slipped right out and said, oh, yeah, my friend Luther was gay, and blah, 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 blah. But, again, was he being malicious? No. And they're like, whoa, hold up. Did you just confirm that? Yeah, because you just walked him into that question. And, yeah, unknowingly because, again, in their circle, it was known, obviously. It was what it was. Everybody is saying the exact same things. James, why you never spoke on Tyler Perry and Christian Keys? Because I never cared. It wasn't interesting. That wasn't interesting to me. That wasn't interesting to me, and I didn't believe all of it. For me to start speaking about somebody who's violating somebody else, I got to feel some kind of way about it, because when you start talking about somebody violating somebody, you got to be very careful about what it is you say. And for me to speak on things of that kind of a nature that's that heavy, I got to believe everything. And I'm not in the business of victim shaming, but I ain't touched that because I ain't much for the come up. And I ain't much for the violation. I'm not much for either one of them. And I wasn't so sold on either side of it. So that's why I never spoke on it, because it just wasn't. Let them two grown men talk about that. Right. Again, Mo, right. Christian never dropped the name. Christian played. Christian put 20 on 10. Christian did all these things. I ain't in the business of that. I ain't in the business of that. I ain't hungry for it like that. I ain't hungry for it like that. I don't run after every story. And that story just didn't spark my interest. Not too much. One, I got a whole lot of respect for Tyler. I'll tear Tyler Perry's ass to shreds about his writing and his production and things like that. But his personal life, I kind of hold a space where I really have too much respect for Tyler to even be tearing him to shreds like that when I don't know that he's guilty of something. He do what I do. I write. I'm not a writer on his level, but I am a writer. So what do I look like, tearing the man to shreds? And if it ain't about the work, I really ain't got much to say. I ain't got much to say for real. I think the dude's cool. You know, yeah. I hope he can do what Christian was saying. I hope it wasn't him. I hope he didn't do that. But again, it wasn't that interesting to me. Okay. Back to my auntie Annie, Miss Patty. So once I found out that the pieces of her missing out of the movie was really due to friends that actually put into this, and some people that were part of the production, they were pissed with Patty, and that's fine. If you just omitted her from the whole project, I would have been fine, because I thought that's what they did. I thought they kind of just threw them things in, threw some curveballs at her, shaded her, and it was like, boom, there it is. We shaded her. She shaded him, and we shaded her. Okay. Ain't nothing you could do about that, right? People feel how they feel about stuff. So I just kind of left it at that. But then when I got to digging and finding out more, and I found out that Patty actually filmed. She filmed for this documentary. She was literally a part of this documentary. And then she had her own things that she wanted. And she said, I want to see it before it actually releases. You know, she had contracts that they shared. Her people were, she was completely engaged in the project. And then they didn't want to move the way she wanted to move. So they basically gave her, okay, girl, get on. They didn't release any of what she actually did with the actual project. They literally took and built the narrative the way they wanted to build the narrative, and left all her stuff on the cutting room floor. Now, baby, that's shade. That's shade. Especially when you go back and, like you said, that's a whole part of his coming of age story, is the work he did with her fan club. Just like they did that whole piece about him loving Diana Ross and loving Dionne Warwick. I was kind of looking like, but he loved Patty. The funny part, yes, Dionne, yes. The glamour thing, I see that with Diana. Dionne, the crisp, articulate, proper singing style, yes, I see from Dionne. But baby, all the playing and the vocal affectations and all of the dramatics and the playing with his voice, that's all Patty. So yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm just watching. But all of that all that old shit, that's all Patty. Patty was the one that is bold enough to reach out and snatch notes that ain't really notes and bring them in, and that was all Patty. That's that Patty influence. A lot of the stage stuff is Patty. It wasn't all Diana. The glitz and the glamour was Diana. The stage presence was Diana, but the got you over there in tears, that's Patty. So I didn't get it. And then when he got sick, at the end he had that stroke and he got sick, Patty was dead on that with the family and that, and the taking care of him. Patty played a big part in all of that, and literally she was not given And I'm sure she didn't care about not getting any credit, but she was very involved with all of that, the care of Luther. And they just omitted that from the movie altogether. That was literally like them spitting in her face. And once I got through all that and I heard from Patty's people and from the folks that was producing, I said, whoa, y'all was disrespectful. Patti LaBelle was completely disrespected in this piece. I don't, and I'm kind of like, I'm not mad at them. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked at how they kind of, just the disrespect of it. It's fine for you to feel how you feel. You say, you know, she talked too damn much, or, you know, that's fine. You could even put that in the movie. Because they did. They talked about her. And they just wouldn't call her by name. Some people did so forth and so on. And some folks who were friends did so forth and so on. They threw subliminals. You can feel how you want to feel. But to literally say you telling the history of how he became who he is and you just completely omit her altogether, no, that was disrespectful. And she's still here. She's still here. So you literally did it, and it was absolutely a gut punch to her. You meant to hurt her with that. You meant to hurt her with that. And for that, I have to say, shame on you. She is a living legend. She's a living legend. I don't know about that treatment for no living legend. I don't know how that work. I don't know if I like that. I pretty much tell you I don't like that. So that's why I hit the button. I just had to say what I had to say about those two things. 7 days into this year, and two women that I hold in high regard, two black women, disrespected unnecessarily, in my opinion. Yeah, that's why I got a channel, so I can talk about it. And I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. I'm gonna go because I don't want to go left. I done did good. My mouth ain't got away from me. I didn't did good thus far. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave well enough alone while I still got the chance. All right, y'all. Listen, like I said, thank you all for clicking the link. Those of you who are new here, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. And the rest of you, you know I appreciate you and all that you do and all the support from over the years. 2025, I promise you, is going to be a good year. You're going to see a lot from me. I feel rejuvenated in what it is that I actually do and have been doing since like 2014. So keep your ears and your eyes open, because I feel like I got some stuff up on me that I want to get off, and y'all gonna reap the benefits of it all. So that's that, and I'm gonna get on out of here. Try snowing and carrying on to Pittsburgh. Y'all be careful out there on them roads and all of that. And I'm gonna see y'all in these streets. If you haven't seen the documentary, go see the documentary. If you have not seen my review, take it in as well. And if you see somebody, a black woman, that you really, really like and you really respect, child, give her a hug. That's it. That's all. I'm gone. Bye, y'all.